It's literally the whole bar exam stressed me out twice. I don't want you to have to do that, and I'm trying to give you like the tips on what helped me. Hi, welcome to Audacity with Abba. I'm making this video to hopefully help you pass the bar exam on the first try. I took the New York bar exam in July 2025 and then again in February 2026. Passing on the first try was something that I fully intended to do, and I tried my best, but it didn't work out the way I thought I was going to. I have some tips here to help you with your structure when it comes to studying. I believe that I did my best at the time. However, I could have been more organized, starting with the fact that I'm not a morning person. I knew that it was suggested to start by 9 a.m. every day, like 9 to 5, just keep it 8 hours. But sometimes I just wouldn't do that, and I would kind of go with how my body felt at the time, maybe start at 12 and then I would work until 8 or something like that. And every day may be a little different, and that kind of threw me off until halfway point. I feel like that's when I started being more strict with my time. If in the beginning of studying for the bar you feel like you're having a really hard time focusing and you can't sit in one place for a while, I feel like that's normal. You just finished law school, probably final exams and papers, and just honestly might be burnt out from that experience. So you can give yourself grace to like really get focused. It comes like after the first 2 weeks pass. I think it took me a minute to get adjusted. It's important to keep your own calendar, keep your own tracker of what you're doing in your bar prep schedule. For me, the first time I was just going and doing exactly what Themis wanted me to do, but I wasn't keeping track of what I was actually getting out of what I was learning. So the second time I took the exam, I kept a bar prep diary. I would have week 1, under it I would have what did I accomplish, and I would write down the things that I was actually doing, whether that was I read the contracts outline, I made flashcards on offer acceptance and the defenses. Like, keeping something that you created yourself and not just a plan that someone else put in front of you, it really helps you to feel more grounded. Lecture videos. Half the time when I was watching them, I felt like, wow, this is a waste of time and this is draining the life out of me, and I don't even know if I can make it through this video. And that happened for quite a few topics, and while I was in it, I just felt like, wow, am I being like lazy? Am I the only one who can't focus on this right now? But like after talking to other people and in hindsight, like, yes, the lecture videos do feel very like not as helpful, and I was trying my best to like take handwritten notes while I was watching it. If you do watch the lecture videos, I would say that you should write some notes. I would not type those notes if I were you, because there were a few topics which I typed notes to like make things go faster because I felt like I was running out of time and I was behind. But typing does nothing for retention at all. So if you are going to do something while watching the lectures, let it be handwritten. For Themis, they had like a worksheet where you would fill in the blank of like what's happening, what they're saying in the video, and I thought that that would be helpful for me, but truth is it really was not. I don't think I needed to watch all the lecture videos for all the different topics. I think it was most useful to watch the lecture videos for those other topics that I was unfamiliar with, and I always made sure to watch the lectures of classes that I didn't perform the best in while I was in law school. And one of the mistakes I made was Themis started with contracts, and I believe property was right after that. And I was like, okay, perfect. Those are the topics that I struggled with in law school. So I'm just going to lock in on these and I'm gonna do great. And even in the beginning, I was taking all the handwritten notes. I was being very focused on my readings and just I even spent a little extra time than was allotted on my calendar, on my schedule, to focus in on those topics. It was not helpful at all. I wouldn't spend any extra time than you're allowed on any given topic, especially because those topics came in the very beginning of bar prep. So by the end, a lot of the things I was forgetting because I wasn't constantly reinforcing it, because I had this false sense of I already spent so much time on it in the beginning, so it's all up here. No, it was not. And actually, I performed the lowest in those two topics that I ended up spending more time with up front. It is absolutely essential for you to go to the Board of Law Examiners website and look at past sample questions and the sample answers. Emphasis on looking at past answers. For me, when I was going through Themis, I would do the practice essay on there, and then they would automatically give me a sample answer. But the sample answer was like perfect, complete perfection, to the point where I was like, okay, what do I do with this? How do I actually improve my writing based off what I'm seeing here? So what I would do was I would look at the rules that they used and focus on that. And I would rewrite them, and I would try to keep it in mind for the next time. But that really wasn't that helpful, because I was just focused on analyzing the rule that they provided me in the sample answer versus focusing on the structure and how they wrote it. So when I went to the Board of Law Examiners website instead to look at the sample answers, I saw how sometimes people wouldn't even get the rule right. Sometimes they would just be making things up, and I was like, okay, so it's not necessarily getting the perfect rule memorized, it's about making sure the answer looks crisp. Looking at actual exam takers' answers show me that the rule doesn't have to be perfect, but the analysis is what matters most. And for me, I didn't really understand what that meant on how to analyze in the way that they wanted me to. And so that was a struggle, but I got a tutor and she helped me to break that down. I don't know that I can do that right now. Let me see. The essays are what I struggled with the most the first time I took the bar exam. And I think what is important is to just have a general understanding of the law. There's no way you're going to memorize all the rules of property, contracts, criminal law. It's impossible to memorize everything. And so I was really getting confused as to, when I would get a random essay, how was I supposed to know this thing that they're asking me for? Like, how was I supposed to know that? And yeah, how was I supposed to know? So with the essays, don't worry about writing them out all the time. Really, you should start with reading through a bunch of them. I think it's important for you to print out all the essays you have. Let's say it's property, put them together with their sample answer and issue spot it. Don't worry so much about typing everything out, because if you time yourself for the 30 minutes and you sit there and you don't know anything and you're kind of just stressed out that whole time, it doesn't make sense. So what I'm trying to say is, I print it out. I don't know if you can see this. Just write notes. I'll read it. Okay, in 1980, Oscar sold undeveloped land that he owned in fee simple to Sam. And then I'm like, okay, he sold it. This person a bona fide purchaser. Just like, okay, what are the buzzwords that pop out to me? But if you start typing out a full essay and you don't even know like the basic rules, then there's no point in trying to analyze it to start when you don't even have like the buzzwords. So like, I didn't even know what a wild deed was when I was reading this. So that completely changed the answer that I came up with because I didn't know what that rule was. Or let's say I forgot the first in time, first in right rule, then like that completely changes how I get to my answer. So it's like sometimes I would spend a bunch of time writing out an essay when I literally had no idea what I was talking about, and it was a waste. Whole time I could have just jotted down a few things that popped out to me, took a look at the rule, and then analyzed it as I went. So that's what I did a lot. Like, I don't know if you can see, just writing in the margin and taking a look at the sample answer or how they broke it down so that I would know what to do next time. And then once I got more comfortable, after I had read through 4 or 5 on that topic, then I'd be ready to get like a random essay that I'd never seen before and just try my best to make up a rule, whether I knew it or not, and do the analysis in the way that I seen at least 5 other times, see how they did it at least 5 other times before now I'm trying to mimic that type of style. There's no way that I could have like come up with good essays without actually looking at how other people broke it down and at least having at least the basics of the rule in my mind. Not having it memorized, but just the gist. So this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but like, I'm not the biggest reader. Like, how do I say this? Like, they will assign like a lot of readings directly from the book or like a long outline, and it's really hard for me to get myself to do that, especially for that many topics. I think that for me, shorter form outlines did me justice. Like, a long outline, I can't do it. So Smart Bar Prep, they have really good shorter outlines. They have the one sheets, which I found useful. Those are way too short to rely on. I feel like it's good to like read through them every once in a while, take notes on them, but those are a little bit too condensed. I like Smart Bar Prep's outlines, I will say that. The first time I took the exam, I got a few large notebooks that had separators in them, and then I would write notes while watching lectures, or if I got answers wrong on the multiple choice part, I would write down all those notes in their own section in the notebook. Made sense to me, but it's very hard. It was very hard to get myself to go back to those handwritten notes and read them. And one of the most common pieces of advice that I heard from tutors or other people's YouTubes was don't bother making flashcards. A lot of people say that, and obviously you have to know yourself and know what works for you. And actually, flashcards was one of the things that actually was helpful for me. Writing out notes in my notebook and separating them by topic was not helpful. To give you a better visualizer, so like here's the notebook, this is one section, and they have a divider, and then put the other half, and then you get to, yeah. Thought that made sense, it didn't. The second time, I actually just used one notebook for everything. Which at first I was like, is this chaotic? Like, it felt kind of chaotic, but it made me more likely to read through it. Like, I would be reading some trust notes, and then I would flip, and I'd be in civil procedure. I would flip, and I'd be in evidence. I don't know, not the most organized, but it kept everything mixed together. It kept me able to look at all the things that I got wrong in different topics, and I wasn't forced to focus on one topic at a time, and it just kept everything fresh, and it made it more interesting for me to actually want to read. That's what worked for me. But I like have kind of a disorganized brain. Like, sticking to a bar prep calendar, strict schedule, strict do this, do that by this time, I knew that wasn't gonna work for me. I'm just very like a go with the flow, free flowing type of person, which really stressed me out, because I'm like, I need to get this right. I need to do it the way that other people are doing it. I need to just finish all the lecture videos. I need to finish all the tasks that they tell me to do, and then everything will be okay. And trying to do it in their structured way was going against my natural tendencies, I guess, and a little scattered is better for me, unfortunately. Another thing that helped me stay organized with the different topics, the second time around I took the exam, I printed out an outline I found on the bar examiner's website, and it just has a list of all the topics and subtopics under each subject. And that helped me have a general understanding of what I knew, or what I had touched and what I hadn't touched yet on each subject. So the best thing you can do is to look at least 8 to 10 MEEs from the past for each topic and issue spot them, read the sample answers, write out the rule in your own words, mimic their structure on essay that you write out full out. Definitely write out a few of these full out. Write out at least 3 full out in each subject, but at least get your eyes on 8 to 10 at minimum. And I feel like just reading a bunch of them, looking at a bunch of sample answers, you'll pull it out like the day of when the essay is in front of you. You've seen something like it before, and you will be able to write it out. You will, because you've seen at least 10 of something like that in that topic already. It'll come out. You issue spot the essay. You're reading it. Oh, that sounds like this rule that I saw. Oh, circle this. This sounds like a red flag. I might need to use this fact. Look at the sample answers. Look at the rules. Write out the rule. Hand write the rule on that same essay. Make sure you keep it. You're gonna create a stack of them, and you're gonna go back and you're gonna reread it. And it's not gonna be hard for you to go back and reread it, unlike my handwritten notes that I was unable to get myself to read. This is not gonna be so hard, because this is actually useful. This is actually what the bar examiners are gonna be testing you on. This is practical practice right here. Versus your handwritten notes, it's like, that's just random facts or whatever. That is with the essays. The MPT, I've got nothing for you.